Welcome to Detour Ahead
Oh
podcast.
wow!
I am your host, Colo, joined today with Riley. We're doing a duo cast today. No guest this
You
week.
did it. You did an intro.
Yeah, I'll do intros for.
I had like a whole intro joke planned because you never do intros. I thought I was doing it, but okay.
No. That's why I started off with I guess and then cut you off because I was like, oh well, I guess it's my turn because I haven't actually done a legitimate intro for the show yet. So
Yeah. This is the
welcome to
show
Detour Ahead,
where
the show where we talk about whatever we want when we want, and we probably won't talk about said thing.
this is also the show where we don't have enough friends to have guests every time.
It's fine. We've already had enough duo casts, just you and me, to
Yeah,
justify not having friends. So it's fine. We have some.
Yeah,
We have some.
we have friends. They're hard to schedule with.
That's really the biggest issue is scheduling, which is why we're here today. So
At this point, I think we're just gonna have like, there's like two more people that we haven't had on yet that I can feasibly think of having on, and those are Mo Diggity, which we'll have to record super late one night if we want Mo Diggity on, and I'm really not looking forward to that. And Penguin Mage, who is a nightmare to schedule with, frankly. And then I think we're just gonna have to loop it back around. I don't know where else we're gonna go from there.
we'll figure it out. Anyway, I am your host, Colo Chu, and I have Riley here, as per usual.
Who's Riley? I'm Jonathan.
I'm sorry, Pegasus the Gamer.
Ah, shit! No! I opened myself up for that one.
So, Riley couldn't make it. We do have a special guest today, though.
Revived from the dead.
Does that count?
Still pending a funeral on our. We were gonna do that for the Peg and Colo finale. I think that was one of our plans, was to do the Pegasus the Gamer.
We've had like 4 or 5 different plans for Peg and Colo.
We were gonna do like a whole thing. We were gonna do all of them in the same episode. I had like this big grandiose plan. We were gonna have fucking Asterios Kokonos on to judge our waifu war. We were gonna have the Pegasus funeral. And we're gonna do a couple other things that I don't remember anymore. I had like this whole grandiose plan.
I realized that it's too late to do this, but I just thought of this. We should have had episode 2 of this podcast be the death of its successor. Be episode 2.
Well, no. If we ever get in depth about the death of Peg and Colo, we'll just do. You still owe me the Peg and Colo finale, my friend. That will happen.
We do it on this podcast. The death of Peg and Colo.
No. If it's the Peg and Colo finale, it's going to be Peg and Colo are bored episode whatever fuck the number is, and it's gonna go on the mega feed, and it's gonna be the Peg and Colo finale. And I'll probably put it on my YouTube channel too. And I want to do something like grandiose. Maybe I'll ask Asterios again.
Spell grandiose. Because you've used it twice in a sentence, so now you have to spell it.
I think it's.
It sounds like too big of a word for you to use.
I think it's 2 words, actually. I think it is GRAND space DIOS.
It's not.
What? Damn it. Anyway, yeah.
No. Spell it. Spell it, smart guy. You're using a big word. You gotta spell it now. You used it twice.
I don't fucking know. I give up. I'm stupid. Thank you.
GRANDIOSE. Grandiose.
Okay, cool. Got it.
It's not grandiose.
But yeah, maybe I'll talk to Asterios again. I need to stop having anxiety about like talking to internet celebrities, because like the worst they could do is tell me to fuck off, and that really doesn't matter. Like, I don't know why I'm so scared. The thing that bothers me is, like, back when the Pixels was going on, I did reach out to a few people. I got no response whatsoever, and I think that hurt more than them actually telling me no. No, I'd be fine if they didn't respond, like, whatever I texted Big Creator and they don't respond to me, but, like, it's the no that I'm scared of, and I don't know why the no scares me. It's not like they're not gonna like me anymore, because I invited them on my podcast, and they don't want to come on my podcast. They're not gonna, like, be like, fuck that Riely guy. Like the next time they see me in their comment section.
I'm gonna make your anxiety real bad now. You're gonna ask them. They're going to immediately see your message, hit record, and do a whole fucking roast video of, look at this fucking loser. He doesn't even have that many subscribers. He doesn't have anything. They're gonna do a full roast video on you and why you're such a loser. Of that's
Even
like
the fact
that's
that I'm
like,
even
yeah.
scared to talk to online creators that I've already fucking worked with.
Oh yeah,
They've
no,
already
that's
been
dumb.
on my podcast before. Like Asterios has been on like 3 different podcasts with me. I don't know why it would be such a big deal to fucking bother him about it again, but I still feel weird about doing it. Fucking Trixie the Golden Witch, we had her on the Mocast. She's like one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. And I want to invite her on the issue crew, but I'm too much of a pussy to do it.
You got this.
We should invite internet celebrities on this show. It would have to be you, because if I'm contacting internet celebrities and getting over my anxiety, it will be for issue crew. But if you contact some internet celebrities, we can get them on this show.
If we do, if we do, we're gonna have to do like a legitimate opening and not tell them, you have to do the opening for the show. They're like, I feel like that gives off like a bad vibe. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things.
No, we
but...
just have to explain it. Like we can't.
Oh, well, yeah,
like,
we can explain it.
With our friends, we're just like, do it. But with an actual person, we'd be like, hey, we do a bit on the show where we just like let the guests do an intro and it's random. Just say the name of the show, and other than that, it's your thing. Do it.
That's fair. I think I'm overthinking it now, where I'm just like, ooh, we gotta act professional now. No, I don't think we'll actually act professional at all.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just that, oh, we have a big internet person here. I don't know what to do type deal. But no, we'll figure it out.
I need to find like the popular friends. That's how you become a niche YouTuber, is you become friends with somebody who has subscribers already. It's like the only way. You have to just by chance encounter somebody on the internet who has like a few thousand subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. Like pure random chance. You find someone who's got like a couple thousand subs, and then your channel grows just by association.
Demi does have like 1.5k now, and she's climbing, but that's on her shitty shitpost channel. So I don't know how much traction I'm getting from that. We used to, or I don't want to say we used to, because I haven't given up the battle yet. But we do a Let's Play show on that channel that Debbie Gloom is not happy with and doesn't want to do anymore. But
isn't that what we talked about last week?
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did. Tell us more about it.
So me and Demi Gloom have had a Let's Play show for a little while. By a little while, I mean we've made like 15 videos, I think, so it hasn't been around that long. Called the Gamergate, which yes, we thought it'd be really funny to call ourselves the Gamergate because of Gamergate. So we are the Gamergate. That is our Let's Play show. And literally what happened is we were recording it on a day that Demi Gloom was not feeling very mentally well, and she like had a breakdown live on a recording, and she decided that the show sucked. And from there, even when she's reached levels of clarity, she is hard committed to the idea that the show sucks. And yeah. we had a conversation a few days ago, or maybe a day ago, I don't know, that gave me hope. Where we had like this whole conversation where I convinced her that it wasn't that bad, and we just had a couple bad sessions. And then the next day, she's like vitriolically calling me out to Jason for trying to force her to continue our Let's Play show. I was like, wow, I thought I made some progress here. I guess not.
See, I feel like with all your friends, or not all your friends, I don't want to throw them all under the bus. It seems like you attract a very specific kind of people who just don't want to do stuff with you.
Hey, Demi Gloom, very down to do things with me. She is not down to do this thing with me on her channel because she thinks it sucks, and it also actively brings down her engagement on the channel. That is her reasoning behind it. She's usually very willing to do things, and I think she still will be, as long as they don't have to be posted on her channel.
That's understandable.
And Demigloom and Mo Diggity are like down for anything if you could schedule them right. And Demigloom is very easy to schedule with. Mo Diggity's a little harder, but make it work.
And then there's me.
Yeah,
Complete
there's you
fucking
who's not down to
wild
do like
card.
anything. Almost every time we record, it's for you.
Because I don't bulk record. Or because you don't book blah 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 blah.
I bulk record Let's Plays for my main channel that get edited by Jason. I probably should do that now because Jason has like a huge backlog that I should probably let him work through. But once that's done, maybe I'll force you to be on a Let's Play. I don't know. Or I'll just record with you for Hellscape because I need to get back to that anyway, considering it's a daily upload channel that I haven't uploaded on in 3 weeks. I'd have to figure out what to play though.
Look, it's not my fault you don't bring me on for videos for your YouTube channel.
No, that's true. That's true. It's just
whenever we record, it's always, "Hey, Riely, I need to record videos. You down?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then we record my stuff, and then it's podcast time.
Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Back in the day, you were not down to do things with me a lot, so I think.
Oh no, I was not. I wasn't down to do. Back in the day, I wasn't down to do anything.
You would come on like You would come on like Pixels sometimes, but then you wouldn't do anything with me. But I guess now you're kind of over that, and you will do things with me. I just have to fucking ask you, and we have to make it happen.
Understandable. Have a great day.
That was a reality for a while though, is that you were around and you were coming on Pixels, but you were like not down to do anything with me unless it was like for your channel, and even then, not really. I think there was just a time where Colo decided he didn't like me. He won't admit it, but I think there may have been a Colo doesn't like Riely arc secretly.
No, there was.
Damn it.
I'm not gonna prove you wrong. I can't prove it. I can't prove you wrong, so I'll agree with you.
I mean, I'll believe you if you say no. Don't fucking double down, you asshole. God damn it.
This is one of those times where honesty is not the best policy.
Shit.
No, that was right around where it was right around the Depression era where Peg and Colo got killed off, and the YouTube channel took a big hit and not recording anything.
That was the I don't like Riely arc.
It was the I don't like anybody arc. It was the I don't like anybody arc.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, let me be fair. There's never been a legitimate I don't like Riely arc, but there has been a I don't like anybody arc. There have been multiple, which is why I'm prone to disappearing for months on end.
Fair enough, and I hope that doesn't happen now because I'm like real invested in doing things with you now.
So no, I'm too invested in this YouTube channel thing. I'm too invested in this YouTube channel thing. Ever since the one video hit over 830 views for just a silly little tier list video that I decided to do on a fucking whim, I've been like real invested. All of my videos have been getting more than like 30 views every single video since that. And I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm actually like really invested in this now.
You know, I think Detour Ahead does have potential as a show too. Like, I think one of the strongest duos I think I have formed in my time on the internet is me and you. Like, I've always felt that way. That's why I was so into Peg and Colo. Like, we came together by fate. I immediately knew you were going to be a great host, and Gingy got mad at me for offering that to you, and then immediately after talking to you for like 2 hours, he was just as down as I was.
Because I have good chemistry with people, and I know how to like handle myself now. If you and I had like met earlier on, the chemistry wouldn't have been there.
Why? What changed? If we met earlier on, why wouldn't it have been there?
Because I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to have conversations.
When did you develop that skill, and like how?
I don't know.
It just kind of happened.
Like when you become a dad, the gods bless you with the gift of dad jokes. I was just given the ability to actually hold conversations with people.
Man, I can't believe Colo's secretly been a dad all along.
No, I said it's like dads. Like when you father your first child, the gods will gift you with the gift of fucking dad jokes.
No,
You do
I
not
think I
gain
think Benji
access to
was
them
born with those
until
dad
you.
jokes.
No, you do not use dad jokes until you have gotten a first child. Anyway,
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what it was. So I guess we'll just
oh,
talk about the topic.
well, no, I was going to do a little bit of small talk.
Okay, cool.
So, what have you been keep people updated in your life?
Well, Colo, my life for the past 2 days has been. You may have heard this video game came out yesterday. It's called Pokemon Violet, and that's been a
I
pretty
haven't heard of
decent
that one.
chunk. Yeah, no, haven't heard of that one. Small indie game, and it's been taking up my life
I
yesterday
know
and
Pokemon
today.
Scarlet came out. I haven't heard of Violet yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, the secret. It's the
Oh well,
underground
it's a joke
version.
because I only got one.
Yeah,
I
you
only
didn't
got
get the
one this
double
time.
pack, then neither did I.
I didn't have money for the fucking double pack. I'm
I never
broke.
get the fucking double pack. And what fucking crazy people get the double pack? I might like buy a second copy later for like Nuzlocke purposes, but I'm not gonna fucking buy the double pack on release day. I have no fucking motivation to. Why would I do that? Who does that and why? Just to have the game? Like what? Why do you want both? Especially Scarlet and Violet. There aren't even version exclusives. You could
There
get
are.
version exclusive. There are, but you could get them by just going into the opposite version world online. The
Anyway,
the only one you
so
can't get is fucking the cover legendary.
yeah, but you need that
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
complete the
spend
Pokedex.
I'm gonna spend $60 for Koraidon specifically.
Nah.
Do you complete the Pokedex every time?
Yes.
Oh. Oh god. How long have you been doing that?
Since Let's Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess a lot of the games since then have been pretty good.
Technically, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I
You
technically
finished the
completed
Pokedex in that game?
the regional decks. Yeah,
Shit, cool.
not the national decks. I could have fuck that.
Yeah, I guess like it doesn't. After Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there was no national dex. Actually, Sun and Moon didn't have a national dex. It lets you have every Pokemon, but a lot of them did not have Pokedex entries, and the national dex did not exist, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So you could have. That's the right way to do it. They got rid of the national dex in the right way, where you could still have all the Pokemon. They just didn't have Pokedex entries. I don't like what they did after that. Not a fan.
I don't know. I think it's cool that like I don't like the restrictiveness of it. I think I don't know. I think there should be a good like middle ground. Like, oh, you've completed the storyline, and you're basically just shiny hunting at this point. Yeah, bring your other Pokemon in, but you can only bring them in after a certain point of the game.
Yeah, I mean that's always been the case, really. Besides, like, I guess the 3D era, just because of how they structure Pokemon Bank and shit. But before that, it was always like a thing you had to get to in the video game, and I wouldn't mind if they got back to that. It's just I
It'd be
want all my
nice, but
boys.
it would be nice, but I don't know. I still have some of my first shiny Pokemon sitting in Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
I got a shiny in Scarvi, by the way. I just like ran into it randomly. I don't know what the shiny odds are in this game. It might not actually be that big of a deal because I'm hearing a lot about shinies. I feel like the shiny odds can't be that high. But I did find a shiny Makuhita just kind of hanging out, and I got him. He was like, "Hi, I'm a shiny dumpling friend," and I said, "Have a Pokeball," and then I had a shiny. I'm not using him because I was not gonna fit a Makuhita onto my team, but I have a shiny. He's in my box. He's in a special box labeled shinies, where maybe someday he will obtain friends. Apparently,
Understandable.
apparently shiny hunting there's like a stupid easy shiny hunting method once you get to a certain point in the game. So maybe he'll have many
I think
friends.
it's sandwiches combined with mass outbreak.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't know how much you knew about the picnic system, so I didn't want to spoil it for you if you didn't. But
The only
yeah.
thing I have not been spoiled on is story. If you talk about anything, the only story I've been spoiled on is how you get the legendaries to ride around on. That's it.
That is really interesting that you just like have the legendary the whole time.
It's different.
It's
Why did
also
you
hard.
choose?
It's
Why
also
did you
hard to
choose Violet? By
believe.
the way, why
Uh,
Violet?
I don't really know. I just I didn't really feel any type of way about Koraidon and Miraidon, and I didn't. I saw the version exclusive list. Oh, well, I guess the only version exclusive I cared about was Sarah Ledge, so that's one reason. But other than Sarah Ledge, because I could live without him, it was just like I don't know. I usually go with the second version, and there was nothing really calling to me about Scarlet, so I was like, I'll stick with my guns. Like pretty much every generation, I think I always go with the one that comes second. And like when you say Pokemon this and that, I always go with the one that comes second.
So which one did you choose? Emerald, Sapphire, or Ruby?
Um,
Fuck,
well, I
I
think
fucked that up. I was supposed to say it in the wrong order. God damn it!
you did say that in the wrong order.
It's Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but you said you always choose the second one, and Sapphire was still second.
Oh, yeah, good
I was
job,
trying
buddy.
to I was trying to trip you up, but
Good. Well, I mean, the first time Gen 3 came out like the year I was born. So the first time I played it, I played Emerald because Emerald already had long existed. The first the
anyway.
first the first gen that I was like around and playing Pokemon for was Gen 4, and Pokemon Pearl was my first game, and then I got Soul Silver. Black and White I got both, but I think I got White first. Gen 6 was the outlier because they were out of Pokemon Y when I went to go buy Gen 6. So I had to get X. So X and Y was the outlier. I got X. When I got Moon when I first got Sun and Moon, although if you'll remember, there was a long period in which I hated Sun and Moon and I did not finish it. And before that period was over, I did lose that Moon copy, and then when Penguin offered to buy me Alola, I bought Sun. So Sun was the game that I beat, but Moon was the first game that I bought. And then I have Ultra Moon, which I'm playing through now. It's kind of on hold because Scarlet and Violet. I got Let's Go Eevee. I got Shield, Shining Pearl, and Violet. So yeah, mostly the second version, except for X and Y and Black and White, because Black and White I had both, and X and Y they were out of Y.
All right. I've gotten Fire Red, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, Platinum, Black and Black 2, or Black and White 2. I forget which 2 I have, but I know I have Pokemon Black. I got Pokemon Y, Sun and Ultra Sun, Let's Go Pikachu, Omega Ruby, Heart Gold, Sword, Scarlet, BDSP, and Arcane. So
Which BDSP version did you buy first, or did you buy the double pack?
I bought the double pack, and I'm gonna sell Shining Pearl for as low as whatever I can get for it because I don't care. And it's
God
still
damn
in the
it! Why is
goddamn
Shining
fucking
Pearl the one you're
plastic.
gonna sell? If you were gonna sell
Because
Brilliant
Diamond
Diamond, I'd buy
holds
it right now.
because Diamond was the first ever DS game that I ever played, and it's
Fair
also the
enough.
first game that I ever hacked to where I literally legitimately cannot finish the post game.
For the opposite reason, I kind of wanted to get Brilliant Diamond. I was gonna break my streak and get Brilliant Diamond, but then I got it from Penguin, and she got Shining Pearl. Because I didn't have the full $60 to buy the game, and then Penguin offered to sell me her Shining Pearl copy for I think $40. So I did that, and
At
then
this point, if someone wants to give me $10 for Shining Pearl, I'll fucking give it to you. I don't care.
she like didn't ship it to me when she was supposed to, so she just said fuck it and bought Shining Pearl on Amazon for me. So Penguin basically just contributed $20 to my purchase of Shining Pearl when she was supposed to send me her copy. She just like didn't.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're about 25 minutes in. Do you want to talk about Death Note now?
we can.
Okay, so our topic today is literally my favorite show of all time. Like, Breaking Bad is very good, but Death Note also very good, and a little bit very gooder, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Uh, so Colo, I want to ask you, what is your history with Death Note? How did you discover it? And how did you feel about it when you first watched it? And does that at all differ with how you feel about it now?
I think it's a really good anime. I think I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. So pretty good. It's up there. Um, I was visiting my parent. I was staying at my parents for the weekend. I forget what I was doing, and I didn't have my PC or laptop with me, so I couldn't really watch whatever I was watching at the time. So I had access to Netflix on the TV. That's it. So I act like that's nothing.
That's like the thousands of things at your fingertips to watch on demand. And you're like, I have nothing.
I've only had Netflix. No, I had cable, and I could have watched cable too. But fuck cable. Cable is absolutely disgusting, and that's a
Fuck
whole
cable.
separate.
All my homies hate cable. Well, actually, cable on demand can be pretty sick sometimes, depending on what they put on those libraries. I had one time where I literally talked about this on the Variety Hour that you were on yesterday, but they had every Pokemon episode on Spectrum on demand on Disney XD. So I just like watched a shit ton of the black and white anime for no reason while I was at my grandma's house, and it was pretty sick.
Understandable.
I had to
Anyway,
watch the shitty commercials. That was the one annoying thing. But did they let you fast forward through the career? Some channels do, some channels don't. It's like the random channels will just like decide whether they want to let you fast forward through their on-demand content or not.
yeah. So basically, all I had at my fingertips was cable, and it was late, so I didn't want to like uh comb through cable television to try and find something to watch. So I went to Netflix, started looking at stuff, and found Death Note, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll throw this on. And then basically just sat on my phone until shit started getting good, which was like episode 2. And I was like, oh,
You didn't like episode 1? What's wrong with episode 1?
episode 1 is always the worst episode.
Well, I mean, episode 1 had like the fucking Kira killing montage, and that was really good.
Well, like I said, this was back in like 2019. It has been like 2 or 3 years since I've seen Death Note, so it's been a minute. But that's how I
Fair
found
enough.
it. I found it. I stumbled across it on Netflix one time. But very good show. Would watch again. I have like this weird stigma of if I remember anything from a show, I don't fucking watch it.
That's stupid.
It's really dumb, but it's like a really fucking big thing. Like if I remember how Death Note goes, and the more you and I talk about it, the more I remember about it, the less likely I am to watch it.
I just rewatch Death Note all the time, just for like no reason, because it's so fucking good. Like
That's me.
it's
Okay, that's me. Like it's a comfort show, right?
yeah.
Okay, my comfort show is CSI Miami.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that CSI Miami has a lot of like memories attached to it, so it's very, very close to me. It's a very good show.
I can hear your chair squeaking. Stop that.
Fuck, it's not Discord's not picking it up. Um, but yeah, it's a very good show. It's a good like just background noise show because I pretty much know all the story and everything. But
Yeah,
look,
the thing is, for me, I have such a strong appreciation. I I feel like pretentious explaining this, but like for the past like year or so, I've really been trying to like refine like my understanding of art and like how I appreciate it. And like really pay attention to like characters and plot lines and like interesting shit and like become enveloped in them. And I think that was pretty much inspired by Death Note because I was just so fucking intrigued with everything about Death Note that it led me to think that way about other shows. I just Death Note vibed with me. I don't know why. Like you said, it was at 8 or 9, and that sounds like blasphemy to me because Death Note is certainly a 10 out of 10 in my eyes. It is literally my favorite show. Not just my favorite anime, my favorite show, my favorite anything really. I like Death Note better than any movie too. So really, my favorite visual media.
it's understandable though. I mean, that's how a lot of people feel about a lot of different things. So
the story, it's so engaging. The thing about Death Note is like the pacing is perfect. Like you're never bored. Like even in the arcs where people say they were bored, I was not bored. I was on the edge of my seat the entire Yotsuba arc, and obviously I was also really enjoying the characters during that arc. Like, by the way, guys, this is not the first time I've talked about Death Note. I have an entire Death Note watch-along podcast where me and Mo Diggity covered the whole show episode by episode. So you can check that out if you want. It's called Kira's Kingdom. It's on the Riely Podcast mega feed, and it's gonna have its own feed soon because it's coming back. We're covering the Japanese J-drama live action show. So we're Max reviving Kira's Kingdom soon. We were supposed to do it yesterday, but then Mo could not find the show on any website that was not completely virus ridden. So we got to do a little searching, a little deep Google foo to see if we could find a somewhat safe website that has the Death Note J-drama. But anyway, throughout that whole Yotsuba arc, I was just obsessing about how much I loved Good Boy Light. Like I love that for him. I love Good Boy Light so much. It's like, because the thing is, you can tell that like it is a real case of absolute power corrupts absolutely. Because the moment Light forgets about that Death Note, he is the most motivated one in the room to catch Kira. He is the most motivated one on that task force. It's fucking crazy. The moment he's not Kira, he's dedicated his life to fucking catching Kira. It's such a fucking amazing character thing about Light Yagami, and it proves that he's too much of a justice. And he got the Death Note, and it corrupted him with that justice, and he became fucked up and became obsessed with the killing because that's what Death Note do. It make you fucking go crazy and want to murder people because you have the power to do so by just writing names in a fucking notebook. And then the moment Kira forgets about being Kira, he is the most motivated one in the room to catch Kira. And it's insane.
That's one of the things where it's like, it's so crazy to watch the main character try and catch himself.
Yes.
you don't see that like at all. Where you're watching the main character basically help an organization or help somebody else try and take himself down. And it's such an interesting show to watch. Like I've never seen anything else like it. Except Breaking Bad.
That's true.
Yeah, the fucking like I know we talked about this in the Breaking Bad episode.
It's my favorite thing to do is
ago.
Make parallels between Breaking Bad and Death Note.
There's so many fucking parallels. It's crazy. Hold on, what came out first?
Death Note for sure. Breaking Bad was 2009. Death Note's manga was 2004, and its anime was 2006. Death Note by a mile. But okay, I guess elephant in the room. Because there is one thing that me and most Death Note fans vehemently disagree on, and I believe, Colo, you are on that majority side. Tell me how you feel about the last third of Death Note. Okay, elaborate.
Bad. The show should have ended. You should have given me time to like watch it beforehand, but that would have been like way too much time between you wanting to talk about it and me actually watching it because I have so much in my backlog right now.
You never stated an active desire to rewatch Death Note before we did this. Because if you had told me that, I would have been like, "Fuck yeah, take your time."
I mean, we can also fall onto the detour ahead mantra of, oh, so have you just completely like just left turn, just drop the whole fucking thing too, like we sometimes do.
Yeah, we sometimes do, but you're talking to me about Death Note.
I know. I can also weasel it into Breaking Bad, too.
True. That is another thing you can do.
I weasel it into Breaking Bad, and then I go, oh, you know who looks similar? The Walt from Breaking Bad looks very, very similar to the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
To the dad
and then we start talking
middle.
about Malcolm in the Middle. And then from somewhere from there, we go off right back to Pokemon.
How
It's
much
real easy to like
have you seen all of Malcolm in
distract
the
the fuck
Middle,
out.
or is that just like a show you saw on TV sometimes, or?
A little bit of both. So I've worked my way through like the first like 2 seasons, I believe. Either all of season 1 or all of season 2 a while ago.
I do have to get back to
But
Malcolm in the Middle, and I'm going to talk about it here. Me and Demi Gloom are eventually going to do season reviews once I get back to it. I'm like halfway through the first season. And
I mean,
very good show, extremely good. Obviously, fucking Bryan Cranston is a great actor, and I love Hal. The whole rest of the family is good. I have a hard time being into like children in sitcoms. Like I have a hard time like being engaged with them as characters, but this show does a
you're
fine
supposed
enough
to be
job.
able to relate to them because you are one.
Yeah, but I'm not one, so that's the problem. Like a lot of sitcoms that I know of, I really like started with the characters as kids, and then they went on for so long that the kids grew up. And I always prefer the later seasons because the kids fucking grew up, and I can like them more. But and then
That's fair.
Malcolm and his brothers are good enough. But fucking Francis is definitely the standout of season 1, and I'm suspecting the standout of the whole show unless we get like a whole lot more good Hal later. I fucking love Francis. The funniest shit in Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know if you remember this episode, but just the funniest shit is the episode where Lois is interrogating the kids about like burning her dress, and like
Yes.
the whole
Oh my
time
god, that's like the
Francis
one episode I remember.
Francis is like giving advice to Malcolm and like following the situation from military school, and the entire fucking military school student body is gathered around the payphone, just
God, it was
basically
this whole.
basically consuming an episode of Malcolm in the Middle through a fucking payphone, just gathered around Francis,
I do have
being
to
so
go back
engaged in
through
the
and
plot
rewatch
line.
this show. Um, I do have to go back and rewatch Malcolm in the Middle. It's very it's I don't want to say it's concerning. So fuck, what's the dude who plays fuck the Hal? What's his name?
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. So you have two separate dads that he plays in two completely different shows. Why are there so many times that this dude decides that he's gonna walk around without a shirt or pants on?
That's true. That's true. Listen,
These
how
are two completely different shows with two completely different settings. The only thing that they have in common is he plays a dad of the family. That is it.
yes, Hal and Walter White are extremely different characters, not similar at all. But the one similarity is they walk around without pants a lot.
But it's such a good show. There's so many shows where I gotta go back and like rewatch it, but as I think I said last week, I'm almost done with Disenchantment. I have 6.5 episodes left, and I'm hoping I can finish it tonight. If not tonight, probably tomorrow night. After that, I think it's going to be I'm going to tackle Pokemon. I don't know how I'm going to tackle Pokemon yet.
I don't think you're going to tackle Pokemon. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I'm not going to tackle all of Pokemon. It's like I haven't tackled all of Naruto.
I guess
in 4 years.
I'm tackling
I
Journey
will tackle
specifically right now.
I will tackle a generation. That would be I will tackle
Colo?
At least one season of a generation.
X and Y.
I'm going with Hoenn.
No, Hoenn's good, but X and Y is like the best anime season by like a mile, I think. Like the Titans are like in terms of like full arcs, like the Gen 3 has
I have a certain nostalgia with Gen 3. I would like to see Pokemon from Gen 3. I want to like watch this anime for the first time, episode to episode, and like basically like relive Gen 3 for the first time in a while. I've not played Gen 3 in so long. I'm hoping I can get that same nostalgia from that.
Fair enough.
I don't have that nostalgia from Gen 6. So
fair enough. The Gen 3 anime isn't bad either, so you're not gonna have a bad time. Gen 3 does have one of the best arcs in the Battle Frontier, but that's just like one arc out of like the
I
whole
also
anime.
want to listen to the fucking openings because, like, I've been watching shit that doesn't have any openings in it, and I miss that. I miss being able to hear music every single time.
Now, all the Gen 3 openings go really hard too.
Advanced Battle, Battle Frontier, those are the two that pop off in my head.
Also,
But
just the Pokemon Advance theme song too, just like the first one. I love that song. A kid from Pallet Town with a brand new world to see.
oh, that's
Don't know
Advanced
what's
Battle.
ahead. No, that's the original. That's Pokemon Advanced. Advanced Battle is whoa, undefeatable Pokemon.
Okay, so I have heard all three then. All right.
No, there's four. There's Advanced Battle, there's Advanced Challenge, and then there's Battle Frontier. I don't remember the Advanced Challenge song.
Yeah, so that's only 4 seasons. So, like, that's not bad to get through. And, like, I don't know. I want to tackle the Pokemon series a little bit more. Mainly just because we had a legitimate podcast about something where I was like, it bothered me that we were doing that topic for PVH. And it didn't like bother me. It was just I didn't feel as engaged because I didn't have as much to talk about because I haven't seen a lot of the Pokemon anime. And now with the Pokemon anime potentially ending, rumored to be ending, or speculated, I should say, because the other words are like, oh, well, yeah, we know something, but we're not going to tell you everything. It's speculated that it might be ending. It gives me a little bit of nostalgia that, like, these things have not brought up in a long time, of like this nostalgia of going and rewatching something that I've only seen bits and pieces of as a kid. So
I want to watch the whole anime, but like I'm fucking content pilled, so I want to do a content thing.
if you want to do a Gen 3 cast, we can talk about Gen 3 if you want to go rewatch Gen 3.
I mean, I did say that I wanted to do a podcast about specifically Battle Frontier, so maybe when you get there, I'll also watch the Battle Frontier season, and we'll.
That's
do a
fine. I'll let you know when I get to Battle Frontier. I'm gonna work season to season.
Okay. Also, I think the
I
Battle
can do
Frontier
one season in like a sitting, not like a single sitting, but like watching sitting, like after work before I go to bed type deal. If I can get through one season, I will be happy. If I don't get any more for another couple months, then that's fine. But I want to do at least one season of Pokemon every once in a while and try and like legitimately get through this because I've missed a lot.
So I can look forward to the Battle Frontier podcast in a year and a half when you get to that fourth fucking Hoenn season.
Dude,
it's not even a Hoenn season. It's so weird. The weirdest decision they made. I guess they wanted the nostalgia points. They put Hoenn's Battle Frontier in Kanto in the anime, even though it is certainly not in Kanto in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emeralds. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I gotta remember too that the Battle Frontier arc starts at like the last third of Advanced Challenge. Because I think I guess maybe they were going to transition seasons anyway, but they like start the Battle Frontier arc in Advanced Challenge, but then the season splits randomly, and I think that how weird the split feels might have something to do with the voice cast changing. I think because that is where the voice cast change is between Advanced Challenge and Battle Frontier.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, we still have good old Veronica Taylor Ash until Battle Frontier. That's when it stops.
I do also have a certain nostalgia for
Veronica Taylor Ash.
No, for just anything May, because May's a great character as well.
True, I love May. Also, May is like in my top 10 battles in the Pokemon anime. A May battle ranks like number 2. I think Ash versus May near the end of Battle Frontier, Sceptile versus Blaziken, is like one of the best choreographed fights in the anime's history.
See, you talk about this, and I have no idea what you're talking about, and it bothers me that like I don't know anything about the anime.
Look forward to it. Near the end of your Hoenn quest is when Ash's Sceptile fights May's Blaziken. It's one of the sickest fights in the anime's history.
That's why it's been bothering me ever since that PVH podcast we did. It's been bothering me that I'm like, I brag to so many people that I'm like, oh, I know everything about Pokemon, and then someone's like, what about the anime? And I'm like, ooh, That's the one aspect of Pokemon that I know nothing about outside of Red and Blue and Gold, Silver, Crystal.
I do wish the thing is Pokemon anime is one of those shows where like I know the entire plot, but I don't know what I've seen and what I've heard because it's like something I've caught on TV for like ever. And
Yeah, that's
I know
exactly
the
how I feel.
entire I know the entire plot of the Pokemon anime at least through X and Y. Sun and Moon and Journeys are both kind of dark to me. I did
See,
not get
what I
super
really want to
invested.
do is I want to get to Sun and Moon because it seems like such a.
You've seen Sun and Moon, I thought you said.
I've seen a decent amount to be able to talk about it, but I have not seen any Pokemon season other than Indigo League all the way through from beginning to end.
I really should just start like watching the whole Pokemon anime. Like
Dude,
again,
Indigo League is rough. Indigo League is awful.
yeah,
From
no.
what I've seen,
Fuck you
I'm basing
actually.
everything off of Indigo League, and everything else I've seen is infinitely better, and that's what makes me want to go and rewatch everything now, is because it's so much better.
I gotta rewatch. I'm rewatch. I don't know how much of it is a rewatch. I wish I could like scan my brain and see what Pokemon episodes I have and haven't seen because that would be really interesting. Because like I know the whole plot like up through X and Y, but I don't know what episodes I've seen and what episodes I've just heard about. It's really I'd be really curious to like know what episodes I haven't seen. But I don't
That's
know.
fair.
Every episode of Indigo League I've seen is great. Like it gets repetitive, I'm sure, on a binge watch, but the
That's
writing is writing is very good in Indigo League. The characters feel really charming. Again, I nerded out about the Kanto 4 and how Ash grows up with them, and like there's like really strong character development there. So I have strong appreciations for aspects of Indigo League, but I don't know how I'd fare on like an entire binge watch.
See, that's what I'm worried about is a binge watch. But I've been getting tired a lot earlier. I'm not pulling any 1 a.m.s anymore, so I usually go to bed around like 11 o'clock, and I stay up till like. It depends on what time I go to bed and how long I'm watching for and how tired I get. But like usually I'm only watching shit for like 1 or 2 hours, depending on what I'm watching, and then I just go to the fuck to bed. So like I feel like before I was like I would binge stuff from like 8 till 2 in the morning. I do like 4 hour sessions, and I think that's what got repetitive. It's like these long sit-ins of just watching the same repetitive shit. But I think if I split it up a little bit, it'll be a lot easier to get through.
Yeah, the thing about the Pokemon anime is I think what like keeps you engaged is like all the battles, and like in later seasons they're really good about like spacing out gym battles and having like little tournament arcs. But in Indigo League, there's not a lot of that. There's like 3 real gym battles, and I don't remember any tournament arcs.
No,
So
it's literally just traveling to different cities. Oh, hey, random person on the street. My Pokemon ran away. Uh-oh, time to go help them. Uh-oh, there's another problem. Now Team Rocket's got the mysterious Pokemon that was lost. Now we gotta battle Team Rocket, but it's not a real Pokemon battle. It's Pikachu using Thunderbolt. And you get the Pokemon back, and they go and do whatever fun thing they were gonna do in the next town.
yeah, no, I think that might be the reason why I like Black and White, really, because obviously it's frustrating that Ash gets reset and that he's a fucking dummy. But in terms of that anime's pacing, in terms of like giving us good battles versus like the slice of life filler stuff where Ash finds like a wild Pokemon and or trainer with a problem and tries to solve it, and then it's like, oh no, Team Rocket's involved now, and that's like 98% of the episodes. Black and White very specifically is very good about giving us good battles because in Black and White there's the gym fights which are all very good, and then there's like I think like 4 tournament arcs. So Black and White knew what I wanted and gave it to me.
That's why I want to go back through, because I know after talking with when does PVH come out?
It comes out Monday, so it'll be out by the time this is out for sure.
Okay. Talk This is basically just a big plug for Pokemon Variety Hour.
This is the expansion pack of the Variety Hour episode.
But yeah, go listen to PVH. I appear sometimes, like once a month. You can find a random Colo Chew to appear.
2 weeks in a row. Now it's a new record.
It's a lucky encounter. I'm the rare. If PVH is the tall grass, I'm the rare spawn.
I really want someday to get back to the point of PVH where there's like 4 people every week, and it's like it's never going to happen, and it's like a false dream.
I don't
But
know.
I
I'm
will.
like a big advocate for having at least 3 people on a podcast because
Yeah,
three
which is
people is like
why,
the magic number.
especially with Pokemon Variety Hour, there's like a lot of awkward silence no matter what. But the more people we have, the less of that there is. When it's the Riley and Penguin show, it turns out fine after editing, but like there's a lot of awkward silence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think there's a lot of awkward silence with you and me?
No, I really
Really?
don't. I guess there is some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is some, but like, I
Again,
don't know.
awkward
There's
silence
some about
literally
our
doesn't matter,
chemistry that
and
doesn't really add awkward silence. But if it was just you and me on a PVH episode, there'd probably be just as much as you and Penguin.
the
But
thing is, awkward silence literally doesn't matter, and I need to stop thinking about it because my podcasts are fucking edited for that reason specifically. That's really all I care about is cutting awkward silences, and that's kind of the reason I employ Demigloom is because I don't want to do it myself. And I guess there's like transitions and shit too, but like that stuff is just like fun little extra shit, fun little spice to add to the show. But the real
what
thing I
gets
care about
added
is
to the
the
show? Is this show unedited?
no, it's edited. The silences get cut, but there's no like songs or transition sounds or anything. It's just general cleanup editing.
That's fair. That's understandable. I wouldn't really. There's nothing I can think to add to the show at all either.
We get a
See,
theme
that's
song.
why I like.
I could pay Demi to make us a theme song. I'm sure she'd be happy about that.
I mean, honestly, you could literally just Venmo me a fucking dollar, and I'll give you the. I'll let you use the rights to my fucking outro that has never been released for my
Why do
YouTube
I have
channel.
to pay you $1 to use
This
your
is my
song for your
song.
podcast?
It's my
This is your
song.
podcast just as much as it is mine.
That is
What?
fair. We do record in my YouTube channel, so in my
Why do I have
Discord.
to pay you for your song for your podcast just because I'm on it?
You got to pay for the rights to use it. but yeah, no, like this is like the perfect podcast where we can literally just talk about anything, and there's almost no, from what I understand, or from what I experience, there's almost no awkward silences in Detour Ahead, just because the conversation is very, very fluid with the zero restrictions on what we talk about.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to not have awkward silence with duos. Like I could think of like the amount of awkward silence I have with people. You're probably pretty high up there. I think like the 3 titans of the least awkward silence possible I can have with a person in a 2-person podcast is probably you in 3rd place, Demi Gloom in 2nd, and Mo in 1st. When
I
I
was gonna put Jason up there, honestly.
Jason may be number 4, but like if it's just me and him, there are occasional awkward. The thing about Mo is like it's shocking to me. I haven't looked in a while, and I haven't really thought about it in a while. I don't think me and Mo have done a duo thing in a while since Kira's Kingdom ended. Um, but back in the day when I was doing my own podcast editing, and Largest Issue was a thing, when Mo wasn't a co-host yet, but he was kind of like Andrew was my only co-host by that time, and he was really unreliable. And sometimes I would have to get a guest to replace him. And usually when I did, it was Mo. And every time I did Largest Issue with Mo, there was like no silence to cut. Like I got done with those editings in like 20 minutes because I was just scrolling through the podcast, maybe like an hour because I have like audio autism and I was looking for all the little noises, all the little fucking things in the sound waves and trying to cut every noise. So it probably took like an hour or something. But there was like no silence to cut. Because the thing about me and Mo is like we're both very rambly people. So um
Stall.
I'm explaining
Stall.
this to no one now. Well, why do we have to stall? Awkward silences get cut. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Okay, awkward silences get cut. I have to use the bathroom, so
Okay,
awkward
I have to
silences
use the
get cut.
bathroom too. So
All right,
we'll
awkward
reconvene.
silences get cut. Demi, cut all this out. All right, I am back. Demi, if you are still listening, I know you're just looking for awkward silences. Oh, fuck, he's here. Fuck.
I'm here. Get
Fuck.
fucked. You can't keep secrets from me, bitch.
Fuck. I was just gonna tell Demi to add a random sound effect and just hope that you eventually come across it and be like, "What the fuck?" I was gonna tell Demi, be like, "Cut this entire conversation out. Cut all this awkward silence out, but just fill some of it with a random fucking sound effect, and just cut out me telling you to do so people think it's like, fuck."
Yeah, now this is staying all in because it's really funny that you fumbled that bit.
You came back too fast.
You gotta be quicker than that. But anyway, to get back to what I was saying before, when me and Mo did Largest Issue, just the two of us, the thing was, and this carried over to Kira's Kingdom as far as I remember, is just like, we are such ramblers. Like, how it will go is like, I will ramble, he will ramble, and I'll fucking just kind of go for a little bit, because Mo is more of a rambler than me, but we both have
who rambles the most out of everybody you know?
Mo Diggity for sure.
Who's number two?
Fuck. I don't
Am
know.
I not number two?
You don't ramble that much.
I do
not like glaringly.
Not bad. I'll ramble about like whatever we're talking about, but
well, the thing about this is like the dynamic when you podcast in my circle, if you're gonna ramble, you gotta be ready for somebody else to take that stick. Because if you're rambling and it's not interesting, then people are gonna interrupt you, and that's kind of always been the dynamic, or at least it was before.
Nobody ever takes the stick from me when I ramble. Nobody.
Because I'm usually into your rambling, but if I'm not, or if I have something else to say, I will interrupt you. But
I mean, you interrupt anyway, but I just keep going. I'll literally be holding like a 40 or 50 word run-on fucking sentence, and then you'll be like, yeah, about, and I just keep fucking going like a fucking train. There's no stopping the rambling unless I'm just like, all right, he's interrupted me like 3 times. He probably has something to say.
No, like I'll try to interrupt you and you'll just like keep going and that won't happen. But the thing about Mo is like he will actively deflect interruptions in like the most infuriating way, where he'll like scream about it. And it like makes me mad. Because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I just need you to not. I need to say something else, and you've been going on for too long. Like I'll be like, I'm not gonna remember this if I don't say it now. And Mo Diggity is rambling, so I'm gonna interrupt Mo Diggity. And then if I try, Mo Diggity's like, no, and I'm like, no, I gotta say something. And he's like, no, I'm not done yet. And we kind of go back and forth with that.
Jesus.
It's truly a dynamic. But I have like no awkward silence whenever I podcast with Mo Diggity. We both have considerable rambling powers that combine. Who's the most rambly person you know, me? Or is it somebody else?
I honestly have no idea. I got distracted. I'm on looking up Clodsire plushies.
Yo, let's go.
And they haven't been released yet. It's too soon, and I want my Clodsire plushie.
You can't even have a Clodsire in a video game yet.
Soon
TM. Hopefully I'll soon TM get one. I gotta figure out where they are. I'm gonna have to like fly back to the first area probably.
So do you like unlock everything? Like right off the bat, like you can fly, you can swim, you can run around and everything, or
no? There are like certain things you have to unlock, but
no. See, I actually, we've been rambling so long. I asked you why you chose Violet, and I never explained why I chose fucking Scarlet.
Yeah, you can. I do want to get back to Death Note for a little bit before we end. I do have things to say. But yeah, tell me why you chose Violet.
You do like that? How? I think the one thing that I do like about podcasting with you, real quick, just to wrap that part of the topic up.
Mm-hmm.
That topic up is I can distract you so easily. All I have to do is like
jingling keys in my face. Like
literally, like all I did was explain how to distract you by doing this relates to this and this relates to this. and then you grasped on to one of those topics, and then we went off and had a whole fucking tangent about it.
Yeah, you did it successfully. Even after explaining it to me,
I literally explained it. So in the middle of our Death Note, this is how I'm gonna loop it right back to Death Note. In the middle, at the end of our not even at the end, but like when we were talking about Death Note, I told you, I'm like, see, what I usually do when I don't know what we're talking about on this podcast, I'll literally relate Death Note to something else, and then take that. I'll literally relate Death Note to Breaking Bad, and then relate Breaking Bad because Walter White is the same as Hank in Malcolm in the Middle, and then you grasped onto Malcolm in the Middle, and we had a whole full conversation about that.
You see, we go down these pipelines. Was there anything that led us from Malcolm in the Middle to Pokemon, or did we just kind of do that?
Nostalgia, in terms of like shows that we should go back and watch, I think.
Yeah, you were talking about like shows you wanted to like go back and watch. And
look, I want some. I would love. I know our podcast is not like super big and doesn't get that many listeners, which is not that big of a deal. I would love for somebody to go through and be like, all right, so they started with this, they led to this, which led to, I want to see like a breakdown of some of these episodes, because it'd be really interesting to see what gets broken up and what, like, how fluid these conversations get.
Yeah, definitely. But there was also something else that I forgot to say during the Pokemon anime conversation, which was I was leading into talking about what content I was going to make about the Pokemon anime, if I did, which I've given up on my video essay series. That's not happening, because that will be too ambitious, and I'll never finish it. Maybe I'll start it and see what happens. But the real idea, we came up with this on Pokemon Variety Hour, but I'm serious about it, and I don't know if Anaru was serious about being down to co-host. I'm gonna have to find somebody if he's not. But the Pokemon anime podcast, where we go through each of Ash's like gym and league battles, and we talk about them like we're real like sports talk radio people.
Oh yeah, the Sportscast one. Yeah.
Talking about Ash Ketchum's like league career. That would be really cool.
That could be really interesting. It'd be a good idea. But Death Note.
I just watched the whole anime.
I'm gonna just guillotine I'm gonna guillotine the conversation right now.
All right, fair enough.
So like the fluidity.
Yep, I think that's it.
It's probably a made up word, but it sounds right. The fluidity of this podcast is either like we will like go from one topic to another very, very, very easily just by relating the two, and we'll just like flow through the conversation. Or somebody will go, oh, and completely guillotine the conversation just to start up a whole nother fucking conversation about either the main topic or something completely different.
Fair enough.
Which is Death Note. We're coming back to Death Note.
So, 40 minutes ago, when we were last talking about Death Note, I asked you your feelings on the second half, and I was gonna give my rebuttal, and then we got somewhere else. But
bad.
Wrong. You're incorrect, Colochu. The thing about the second half of Death Note is I do get it to some extent.
It could have ended before those last two episodes, and it would have been the perfect anime.
Listen, I understand why people don't like it. But people don't understand why they don't like it. Now let me explain. People often describe the last third of Death Note. Shut the fuck up. People often describe the last third of Death Note in terms very similar to how they had described the first half, but just like calling the elements weaker. But the thing is,
your elements are weaker.
Shut up. But here's the thing. The last third of Death Note, it becomes a fundamentally different show. And I think, personally, it becomes a very good, fundamentally different show if you surrender yourself to the fact that it is a fundamentally different show and don't spend all your time directly comparing Nier to L or fucking so on and so forth. the last third of Death Note. So the first 2/3 are an intellectual battle. That's what it boils down to. It's an intellectual battle between Light and L. Every action in the show kind of services that intellectual battle. Then the third half, the third half. It's weird because people always call it the second half, even though it's actually the last third. It's not as long as the fucking L arc, but it becomes a show about the fall of Light Yagami. This figure who has, throughout this 6-year fucking time skip, wrapped the entire world around his finger. He had a god complex before, but now it's fucking multiplied. Light Yagami is fucking insane by the time that time skip rolls around. He like basically is God at that point in his eyes, like he's reached that point already, basically. And it's the story of him being overconfident because he's only human, and these fucking two upstarts show up and fucking demolish everything he's ever built, and he fucking crumbles. And it's this story that proves that, you know, no matter what he does, he's only human, and he's gonna fuck it up eventually. And that's the moral of that story. And we see Light Yagami fall from grace, go on this downward spiral, try his best to recover, but his emotions get the better of him, and he does not. He underestimates his opponent. That's the thing. Light could have fucked Nier up if he knew what he was dealing with. But he was overconfident. He did not even register Nier as a threat until the final moments. Like, literally, he was in that warehouse, and he still did not register Nier as a real threat. And then Nier pulls out his fucking plan, and he's like, oh my god, fuck, oh no, It's like, he's up on this pedestal, and he thinks he's hot shit, and then everything crumbles around him, and the story ends in the most poetic way possible. The finale of Death Note is the best thing. The last episode of Death Note, and a lot of people that don't like the last half even agree with me on this, that the finale of Death Note is fucking amazing. The last episode, amazing. The Death Note finale is the most beautiful thing to ever occur.
That is fair. I will say, as much as I'm not, like, I don't really appreciate the last 10 episodes of Death Note, this show grabbed me so quickly. Like, it takes a minute for new shows that I had no desire of watching to grab me because I don't have that desire. Like, unless I like stumble upon a show or someone's like, hey, you should watch this, and it immediately grabs me, I do not continue. That's my biggest issue, is like with Disenchantment right now. I started it a while ago and it didn't really grab me, but I gave it a second chance like a month ago, and I am almost done. I have binge watched every episode possible, like every episode so far. And it's the same with Death Note. I stayed at my parents' for like the weekend. I think it was like a holiday or some shit. I don't know. And I binged Death Note, I'm pretty sure, in 2 full days. Like, it is very rare that a show will make me binge the entire show that quickly. Like, I could not turn it off until like I started falling asleep, and I was like, if I continue, I'm gonna miss something. So I had
I don't want to miss something. Exactly. I gotta turn this off. Yeah.
But like, Death Note is one of those shows where it's like, it grabs you almost immediately, of like the whole storyline of everything going on. You're just like, you've never seen a story like that before. Breaking Bad. You're not supposed to laugh when I do that. Fucking idiot, you fucking idiot. But like, it's just one of those. It's one of those shows where it's just like, you start watching and you immediately get grabbed into this storyline, and you want to know what happens. Like, it's such an interesting concept that I don't think anybody has ever like replicated a storyline like that.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
But yeah, it's like one of those shows where it's like all I had to do was watch one episode and I was in it. Like, I just never did for the longest time. Like people, obviously, I heard discourse about Death Note for years and just how good it was, and I just like never touched it. Nothing ever really caught my eye enough for me to be into it. As a kid, I was very much like, why would I watch an anime if they're not punching each other? Like all the anime I watched was like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and Pokemon, so I was like, why would I watch an anime if not to watch people punch each other? And I knew in Death Note there was no people punching each other, so I didn't watch it. But I finally did it just last year because my best friend and his ex-girlfriend were watching it and talking about it, or he had already seen it. She was watching it for the first time, and they were talking about it. And I was like, I want to be included in this conversation. So I started watching Death Note, and it was the best thing I had ever seen.
I do have to go back and rewatch Death Note. Like I said earlier, it's gonna be a minute before I actually get a chance to sit down and watch it again. Just because my backlog is pretty much full. I have to finish Disenchantment, which highly recommend. Very, very good story. Very good story. It's interesting.
I gotta figure out what like my next show is gonna be. Like
the thing that grabbed me about the thing that grabbed the thing that grabbed me about Disenchantment was it's from the writers of Futurama, and just a few months ago I binged all of Futurama. So like hearing the voices again but on different characters is like really, really interesting. So that's probably what grabbed me this time because I had just rewatched Futurama a while back. But once I finish Disenchantment, I think the next thing I'm going to tackle is Pokemon. Then currently, I don't have anything lined up after Pokemon. So hopefully, Death Note fills that spot. But I'm sure something else will fill that spot before Death Note. Sadly,
I'm trying to figure out like what I'm gonna like watch because I started Pokemon Journeys and like I don't know if I want to stick with that because I might at some point actually make plans about this Pokemon anime podcast and have to start watching Indigo League, and then inevitably I'll have to watch Journeys again within like only a couple years because if we're just talking about gym battles and league battles, we would get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to stick with Journeys, and I guess I need to get back to Better Call Saul, but like it's taking us.
That's the other thing that we're gonna have to do is Better Call Saul, but I think that's coming up after once Pokemon dies out a little bit. So Better Call Saul is on the back burner for a while.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna commit to watching an episode of Better Call Saul tonight. Because I have started the first season. I think I'm at least halfway through. Actually, it's just I kind of fell off. And it hasn't really been that big of a deal because it's impossible for us to schedule our fucking El Camino review that we're supposed to do on the Ishikuru channel, which we're doing before Better Call Saul season 1. So it's like, oh, so since this review hasn't happened yet, I really don't feel rushed to finish Better Call Saul season 1.
That's completely understandable, though.
But
I still have not seen El Camino yet.
Watch El Camino. It's good.
I have to watch it with Gooch Mesa.
Yeah, I know.
Because we watched all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad in like 2 months.
Yeah, El Camino. I don't want to give too much of my thoughts on it because hopefully eventually that podcast will happen and be
Look,
real.
I've heard that it's a
good movie.
Look, I've heard from 2 people. I don't remember who. You said it's the best, like it's really, really good, right?
I wouldn't say it's the best movie, really, really good, but it was good. It was Breaking Bad good, so I guess by that record, it is really, really good. But it's not like the best.
I've also heard that it's
thing.
like an absolute terrible fucking movie.
You heard that from Demi Gloom, and she's
okay.
wrong.
So that was you and Demi. So I've heard 2 separate opinions of this. So now I'm like, well, neither of your opinions matter now because they both cancel each other out.
That's true, and it is. This is a little bit of a side tangent. I was gonna say this like 40 minutes ago, but let me frame this real quick, because a normal show recommendation to come to Colo probably goes one ear and out the other. Me and Demi Gloom were the warriors that got you to watch Breaking Bad. We're also super into Death Note, which you like. We're also super into Malcolm in the Middle, which we found out you disliked.
Yeah.
I think me, you, and Demi Gloom have very similar show tastes. I recommended a show to Demi Gloom like a year ago. She absolutely loved it, and now it's one of her favorite shows.
What
Colo,
show?
you have to watch My Name is Earl.
Fuck, god damn! I knew that was fucking coming.
Yeah, it has to happen. It's my favorite. It's like my favorite sitcom of all time. I got
I
Demi
will.
Gloom to watch
Okay,
it.
you know
She
what?
loved it.
I'll put this on recording. It's out there now. I will watch My Name is Earl. However, there is a trade-off.
Okay,
You gotta watch Steven Universe.
that's a lot. There's a lot of Steven Universe.
There is 6 seasons.
I thought you were
buddy.
gonna say Bee and Puppy Cat. I was hoping you'd say Bee and Puppy Cat because I was already gonna do that.
Oh no,
But
you're already contractually obligated to watch Bee and Puppy Cat anyway, because Jason and I are gonna go and do a little thing on it.
True. Okay.
Eventually, maybe. I haven't asked him, but I want
Oh,
to.
are we gonna do a detour ahead on Bee and Puppy Cat once you and Jason?
We can
watch
do
it?
a detour ahead on Bee and Puppy Cat.
Okay, so yeah, I'll watch Bee and Puppy Cat, and I will
But
commit.
no, I will commit to My Name is Earl if you commit to Steven Universe.
Okay, here's how we have to do it though. If
Because
you're,
I want to do like a little season by season review.
here are the terms of my contract. Okay. So we have to be civil about this. We cannot be spiteful towards each other. We both commit to one season. I will commit to season 1 of Steven Universe. You will commit to season 1 of My Name is Earl. And we will both individually decide if we want to continue each show and not be spiteful towards each other if one decides not to. And
I will not be spiteful. If you don't like Steven Universe, I'm going to call you a fucking moron. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to force you to watch it. If you don't want to watch it,
no,
fine.
it's just like, and even that.
I'll say you're wrong, but
no, I'm saying it's like, because how I see this going in with a lot of the people, if I would do this with, is I watch season 1 of X show, they watch season 1 of Y show. I don't like season 1 of X show. They really like season 1 of Y show, but because I don't want to watch season 2 of X show, they out of spite will not watch season 2 of Y show, and I don't want that to happen.
If I like a show, I'll watch the show. That's how it works.
Fair enough. Okay, so yes, I will commit to season 1 of Steven Universe. If you commit to season 1 of My Name is Earl, contract verbally signed here today.
Virtual handshake.
Virtual
Done.
handshake. Done. So
But,
there you
look,
go.
It has to be okay. You should at least trust me about Steven Universe. I've been talking about this for a while with you. However, you've also just recently found out that I do like a lot of the shows that you do. There has to be something about Steven Universe that I'm like dead set on that doesn't like. Is there nothing that intrigues you whenever I talk about it as being one of my favorite shows?
You see,
Is there nothing that's like, oh, Colo holds this in such high regard? I wonder why I haven't watched it yet.
You see, I know a lot about Steven Universe. I know a lot of what happens already. I've seen clips, I've seen episodes in isolation, and it's always just been like, yeah, this is good. It's not good enough for me to dedicate my life to binge watching it from beginning to end, but it's good.
It's 6 seasons in a movie, buddy.
6 wow. What is this, Dan Harmon over here? 6 seasons in a movie?
It's 5 seasons a movie, and then
Steven Universe Future.
Yeah. I think there's also a spin-off about Homeworld, possibly somewhere. I saw like a couple years ago. But
is it like a weird HBO Max thing, or
possibly? I have no idea. I have not seen it. I need to look it up, but that would be like the one thing I don't remember. But
Steven Universe has always been that show that it's like, yeah, this is good, and I like it, and I like hearing people talk about it. I'm happy for them that they like it so much, but it's never gripped me. But I will watch the whole first season to get you to watch My Name is Earl, and we'll see if it succeeds in gripping me throughout the entire first season. Which unfortunately might be a raw deal from you. I don't know if you agree with this, but I've heard the general consensus is that season 1 is the worst season of Steven Universe. So
it's rough, but like you need to look. What grabbed me was just watching the interactions between all the characters. But Steven, we'll see. We'll see. Just
we'll see what happens.
Give season 1 a try, and I'll give the other one a try.
Hell yeah. But yeah. Death Note finale is the best thing that ever exists, by the way. I'm just gonna take us back there for a minute. And there was more I had, but my brain is having a hard time formulating sentences.
Sounds like it's the you know what I'm about to say.
I'm not high. I'm not.
No, I was gonna say it sounds like the end of an episode.
Okay. Is it over?
You're blanking on, like, okay. Look, it was just a funny haha. We don't have to end the show, but
no, I'm raring to go. I could fucking be here all night at this point. I'm having a great time.
As explained on this week's episode of Pokemon Variety Hour, go listen to Pokemon Variety Hour because I'm clearly the best host of Pokemon Variety Hour, and I will never let that go. That's gonna live on forever. Right?
You literally gave me PTSD. I will not let other people host my podcast now because of that specifically.
Did you get PTSD when I started taking over this podcast as like when you went to go do the intro and I did the intro? Did you like have a flashback?
No, because this podcast we're very much on equal footing, and I think that's been established.
I think it's like 51-49. That 1%.
Shut the fuck up, Colo.
Listen, motherfucker, listen.
Okay.
That 1% on my end is this podcast does get recorded in my YouTube channel Discord.
Well, I mean, that was an aspect you introduced as a scam to get guests to join your Discord server. That isn't always what we did. You ran a fool. You fooled them.
All right, yeah, I think that's the end of this episode.
Oh no! Did something happen?
Look, I want to go play the new Pokemon game.
Oh shit! Is it time?
It's past. I just got the we're starting without you. So.
Oh shit! Okay, thank you for listening to Detour Ahead, everybody. Colo, do your plugs, quick, go!
Colo2 everywhere. Just Google search Colo2 and you'll find me.
Listen to the Issue Crew on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, other shit, and on YouTube too. Yeah, and that's it. I'm gonna let Colo go play Pokemon now. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Detour Ahead. I have been your wonderful, fantastic, best host of PVH and Detour Ahead, Colo2.
God damn it. And I've been Riley. See you next week.
All right, bye.